Hey guys, I don't know what day this is posting, so happy whatever day it is. So today I am going to be doing a DIY chalk paste, which is comparable to like chalk couture and stuff like that. So what you're going to need is some baby powder, but it has to be the kind that's just talc. And I know it's hard to find nowadays, but I get mine at CVS and it's $1. So check out CVS. And I got this chalk paste on Amazon. So if you want that, I'll link it down below. You're gonna need some water and something to like combine your ingredients in, and then something to stir it with. You're gonna need some paint. I'm just using this acrylic paint from the Dollar Tree, but you can use obviously whatever paint you want, whatever color you want. And I got this little squeegee. It's a mini squeegee. I got them on Amazon, and I believe the pack of 2 was like $6, maybe $7. So I'll link that down below, and I'll link a couple of different sizes for you just in case those are too small or too big or whatever. So I'm just taking this skewer, and I'm going to use that to stir just because it's what I had on hand. And I have this chalk couture stencil, and I'm using a little chalkboard from the Dollar Tree. I already have it kind of underneath the stencil just to, just to have it ready. So I don't measure whenever I make this stuff. I really just kind of like keep adding stuff in. I'll probably be using either hand sanitizer or alcohol for this DIY, but you can obviously just use water. I feel like with the hand sanitizer, it comes out a little bit thicker, and with the alcohol, it comes out brighter, like whatever color you use, but the water works just fine. So, and you're still going to need the water to kind of add it in a little bit. But you're just going to go ahead, take some of that baby powder, and then you're going to add your hand sanitizer or your alcohol or your water, and then some paint. And this is, again, it's just going to be kind of adding as you go. So this is what I start off with just to get the paste kind of going. So you just go ahead, kind of stir all of that in, and you can use whatever you want to stir it up. Like I said, this is what I had like right next to me, so I just took that skewer and that's what I'm using. And you're just gonna mix it up until number one, all the baby powder is smooth. And this baby powder is actually what I use when I make my chalk paint as well. I just use less, and the baby powder for me works better than like using baking soda, and I forget what other stuff people use, but you can also use sidewalk chalk to make this. It doesn't work as well, but it does work. So you would just do the same thing. You would grind up the sidewalk chalk, and I usually use like what's that thing called? A colander, or like the one that's really fine. It needs to be really fine, very powdery. But, this is my favorite. This works the best in my opinion. You could also use, what's that clay called? Calcium. I can't remember what the clay is, but if I can think of it, I'll link it in the description box down below. I use that as well. It doesn't work as well as the baby powder. Again, just my opinion, but I'll give you options in the description box of stuff that you can use to make your chalk paste. So again, you're just going to keep mixing it up, and you see it's nice and thick, and it's kind of the consistency of maybe Greek yogurt, or I don't know, I'm trying to think, sour cream maybe. It's thick but still kind of loose, but you don't want it to be runny. Again, it's paste, so you want it to be thick, and you want it to be, something that's going to kind of stick. So again, I don't measure. You just kind of keep adding as you go, just to make it the consistency that you want. Now I already have this blue one made, and then I'm going to be using this chalk paste. That is the closest thing that I've been able to find to what's that stuff called? Couture. It's really nice. I love the color. It's like plum or something like that. And it's the same consistency and the same texture and everything as Couture, and it works exactly the same in my opinion. And it's way cheaper. So obviously if you don't want to make your own, you can buy this one, but making it, then you can get whatever color you want. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to use this stencil because it had a couple of different pictures in it. And as you can see, this is nice and smooth and it works. Like I said, it works well. Now that's the reason that I like using the baby powder. It makes the paste very smooth as opposed to using baking soda or anything else. It's very smooth, so it works just like I said, just like Couture paste at definitely a fraction of the cost. So what are we at? The baby powder cost me $1. The water was free technically. You can get alcohol at the Dollar Tree and you can get hand sanitizer at the Dollar Tree as well. So, you know, and then I save my little candle containers. Those are those little mini mason jars. Use those to store it in. And if it gets kind of thick or whatever, you just add a little bit more hand sanitizer or water, alcohol, mix it up, and it's good to go. So I'm just going to go ahead and use the different colors that I do have just so you can see the comparison between the different colors and the different pastes that I made. So here I am just going to go ahead and put it on the middle one. Now this does take a little bit longer to dry than the chalk paste that I purchased, but it's just because, you know, we use more water or whatever. But if you wanted to, you could also use a little bit of that clay that I was telling you about, and it'll thicken it up just a little bit more. So that's completely up to you, but I wanted this to be as easy as possible, and just so you can see that there are other, you know, alternatives than Couture. Nothing against Couture, it's just, in my opinion, I can't afford it personally, so I like making my own. So this is the purple one, and you do want to let the ones that you make kind of settle a little bit. This one was kind of still watery because, I mean, I literally just finished mixing it up. So it took a little bit longer to dry. You want to let the paste sit just for a little bit, let it thicken up, let that, you know, let them combine. And then kind of let the chalk just harden just a little bit so that it's stickier. So it dries faster and it's more like the chalk paste that, you know, you buy from the stores. So then I'm going to go ahead. This is a blue one that I made previously. And this one is, again, it's more, it's not as wet, not as runny because, you know, it's been sitting for just a little bit. So you can see how much smoother that one goes on than the purple one that I just made. So again, just let it sit, kind of let it settle for a little bit. Even if you want to make it today and then use it tomorrow or something like that, that would work perfectly. And just make sure you stir it before you use it and it'll be just fine. So then once I am done smearing it, and these little squeegees are perfect for these stencils, the size of them. But again, if you have like a bigger stencil, then I'll find a link for a bigger squeegee. And they're, like I said, I got those two for, I think it was $6 or $7. So I think that's a good deal. But again, this is a Couture stencil. I also get the same, I think they're called like silk screen stencils. I've gotten some from Hobby Lobby and I've gotten some from Michael's, and they work just as good. And this one, the sticky is kind of going away. I got this at a garage sale for like 10 cents. So when I got it, it was already used and the sticky was kind of going away. You know, usually you can wash them off and then just lay them flat to let them dry and the sticky kind of comes back. But this one, I guess, has been used so much that it's not as sticky anymore. But here is what it looks like once I finished all of them. And see, the one in the middle, because I hadn't let it set like for too long or anything like that, it's still kind of runny, kind of wet. So this is what it looks like once it's dried up just a little bit more. It's still just a little bit wet in that middle one, but this is what the one that I bought looks like. This is what the purple one that I just made for you today looks like. And again, it's still wet. You can see in the middle there that it's a little bit darker. Then the other ones are the one that I made. I want to say I made this yesterday or the day before. I can't remember because the ones that I had before were already dried up. So this is what they look like, and I think they're quite comparable. And for a fraction of the price, I think it's perfect, a perfect solution for your chalk couture needs. So thank you so much for watching, and guys, be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that notification bell, and until next time, be blessed and be the reason someone smiles. Bye guys.